Today we will journey to beautiful and picturesque Nepal to explore the fascinating life of the Venerable Bhikshuni Mahaprajapati Gautami, the first Buddhist nun ordained by the worshipped Sakyamuni Buddha. Mahaprajapati Gautami was the stepmother and maternal aunt of Sakyamuni Buddha. She has been referred to as the mother of all and is considered one of Lord Buddha's most important disciples. As the first female to ever be ordained by Sakyamuni Buddha, she was also the founder of the Bhikshuni Sangha, the nuns' monastic order. Mahaprajapati was born into the Kolian royal family in the Himalayan region of Devadaha, now the modern-day Rupandehi district in Nepal. Mahaprajapati Gautami and her older sister, Queen Maya of Sakya, the mother of Lord Sakyamuni Buddha, were Kolian princesses. At the time of her birth, court astrologers prophesied that she would one day have a large following, and so the princess was named Mahaprajapati, meaning leader of a great assembly. When her sister, Queen Maya, was unable to bear a child 25 years after marriage, it was arranged that Mahaprajapati Gautami wed King Suddhodana, the leader of Sakya. Remarkably, Mahaprajapati Gautami and Queen Maya both became pregnant. According to legend, before the queen gave birth, she dreamt of a magnificent white elephant person. Upon presenting Queen Maya with a lotus flower, the lovely elephant being entered the side of her body. Sages who interpreted the dream foresaw that the queen would bear a son who would either become a great leader and conquer the world or an enlightened master, the Buddha. Queen Maya was returning to her father's kingdom to give birth per Sakya tradition when she stopped by the sacred and beautiful Lumbini garden. There, she gave birth to Prince Siddhartha Gautama underneath a sal tree. According to legend, when Gautama Buddha was born, he stood up and took 7 steps north, with a lotus flower blooming after each step. The newborn prince also stated the following words:
I am chief of the world, eldest in the world. This is the last birth. There will be, henceforth for me, no more re-becoming.
Sadly, Queen Maya passed away 7 days after giving birth to the future Buddha. Mahaprajapati Gautami nursed Prince Siddhartha Gautama and raised him alongside her own children. Mahaprajapati deeply loved and cared for all 3 children equally. King Suddhodana worried that the prophecy would come to fruition and that his son would one day relinquish his worldly position as a great ruler, provided the prince with a sheltered and luxurious life. When Prince Siddhartha Gautama was 29 years old, he traveled outside the royal palace for the first time, convincing Channa, his chariot driver, to take him into the city. There, he observed 4 facets of humanity, famously known as the 4 sights, which shook him to his very core. These 4 successive events that Prince Siddhartha encountered would become an integral turning point in his life. The first sign was an old man, in whom he learned that physical declination was a consequence of life. Then he saw a person ravaged by disease. Channa explained that people fall ill and experience pain throughout their lives. Next, the prince saw a corpse. His chariot driver explained that dying was inevitable. Finally, Prince Siddhartha observed an ascetic in deep meditation under a tree who was trying to discover the origin of human suffering. Inspired to follow the way of a holy man, the prince decided to renounce his life of luxury and become an ascetic. He was determined to find a solution to end the suffering of all sentient beings in this illusionary existence and liberate them from the cycle of transmigration. Through many years of spiritual practice and meditation, Prince Siddhartha Gautama obtained enlightenment beneath a Bodhi tree and became Gautama Buddha, the world-honored one. After achieving enlightenment, Lord Sakyamuni Buddha returned home to teach the Dharma to his parents, King Suddhodana and Mahaprajapati Gautami. There he discovered that his father had fallen ill. Touched by the Buddha's transformation, both of his parents became his disciples. The king attained arhatship, meaning enlightenment, and departed the earthly realm 7 days later. Upon the passing of King Suddhodana, Mahaprajapati Gautami decided to renounce the world and receive ordination from the Buddha. At that time, she had achieved Sotapanna, the first of the 4 stages of awakening or enlightenment in Buddhism. The Venerable Mahaprajapati Gautami found her opportunity to ask Sakyamuni Buddha's permission to join the holy order in Kapilavastu, the ancient capital of the Sakyas clan in ancient Nepal. The Buddha was there to resolve the conflict between the Sakyans and the Kolyans over who had the authority to take water from the Rohini River. By resolving the dispute with utmost compassion, the worshipped Gautama Buddha inspired 500 Sakyan men to immediately embrace the monastic life. Mahaprajapati Gautami then led the wives of the 500 young men to seek ordination into the Sangha from the Buddha. However, the Buddha did not agree and continued his journey to Vesali. Steadfast in their determination, Mahaprajapati Gautami and the 500 women visited a barber to have their heads shaved. They then donned saffron-colored robes and followed Sakyamuni Buddha to Vesali on foot, where they arrived with wounded feet, dust-covered bodies, and tear-stained faces. Upon arrival, Mahaprajapati Gautami asked the Buddha repeatedly to be ordained as a Sangha member, but she was rejected each time. Seeing Mahaprajapati, the Venerable Elder Ananda, the Buddha's primary attendant and cousin, asked her why she was crying. She replied that the world-honored one did not permit women to become ordained as a nun. Touched by Mahaprajapati Gautami's resolve, Ananda met with Gautama Buddha and respectfully asked if women had the ability to obtain realization through spiritual practice.
Lord, are women capable of realizing the various stages of sainthood as nuns?
The Buddha replied,
They are, Ananda.
Encouraged by the Buddha's reply, Ananda said,
If that is so, Lord, then it would be good if women could be ordained as nuns.
If Ananda, Mahaprajapati Gautami, would accept the 8 conditions, it would be regarded that she has been ordained already as a nun.
Lord Sakyamuni Buddha agreed to the initiation with the condition that Mahaprajapati Gautami and future female monastics would accept 8 Garudamas, precepts or principles of respect. The Buddha then ordained Mahaprajapati and her 500 followers. As such, she became the very first Bhikshuni, solidifying the establishment of the first Sangha or monastic order for women. Following Mahaprajapati Gautami's full ordination from the world-honored one, the Buddha gave her instructions for meditation. Soon after, Mahaprajapati Gautami obtained arhatship and became fully enlightened. The 500 nuns also attained arhatship after listening to the Nanda Kofada Sutta during the discourse of the Venerable Nandaka. Thereafter, the Venerable Bhikshuni Mahaprajapati Gautami and her followers continued to practice in a monastery that was built for them by the generous and compassionate Lichavi kings.